Okay, I told you earlier that we were going to let you see how we process the chickens. We've got 2 in the cones right now. We're going to spare you the death scene. But once you get that taken care of, the first thing you do is heat your water to 145 to 150 degrees, and we're going to scald them. So we'll get them out of the cones, dunk them on in the water. You know, I keep them in here for, I don't know, 45 seconds, a minute. We check the water. There's an easier way to see if they're ready, and I'll show you here in a second. Usually you can grab the wing feathers and just see if you can pull them out. If you can pull a wing feather pretty easily like that, they're probably about done. So I'm gonna give them one more dunk. I'm gonna throw them over here into the plucker. Let me show you the plucker real quick. This is the inside of the plucker. Just has little rubber fingers, and it'll spin around and it'll pull all the feathers off this. And I got my sidekick Gavin here with the bald head giving me a hand. So Jackie, if you want to flip it on, Gavin's going to spray the water down in there. That way it keeps the feathers, keeps the thing spinning pretty good. Spray it a little bit wider. Turn it off, Jackie. And just like that, you have a plucked chicken. So I'll put it over here. I'm going to bring the camera over and show you where we're at with those. For my mom and everybody will, I remember for my mom and all her brothers and sisters, if you remember, Grandpa made one of these when I was real little. He just made it out of a motor and a barrel and some rubber tubes that stuck up, and you'd have to hold the chicken like this and spin him around in order to make sure that all the feathers came off. Well, that was probably 50 years ago, and it's come a little farther with time. So let me show you how I process. Where's my knife? Right there. This is a little bit of the grody part, but it's pretty easy. You take the chicken by the leg right here, cut right in between the joints. Just find that gap, goes right through. I usually flip them over then. I cut this gland off the tail. You could cut the tail off, but the reason I keep it is because it makes it easier to truss them up when you are putting them on a rotisserie, which is one of our favorite ways of cooking them. Cut him up here by the neck. He's got his crop is right here, and that's what he kind of holds all his food in till he runs it down to his gizzard, which grinds it all up, and then he digests it. And while you're in here, you're going to find 2 tubes. His esophagus, which is what passes his food into his crop, and his larynx, which is what provides air to the lungs. You get those separated, you'll see there's kind of a triangle right there. If you stick your finger in, and I kind of loosen up that triangle, it makes everything come out a lot easier. Then down here on the bottom side, I just go about an inch or so up from the vent, make a little slice. Don't cut into the guts, and just kind of pull it apart a little bit so you can get your hand in there. Then you take your hand, you cup it, run it right down that breast till you can grab everything, or whatever you can grab, and you just pull it on out. And I'll show you. See, there's the crop and the esophagus right there. Once all the guts are out of him, I take and cut on either side of the tail, then cut a little bit of the tail, just the meat down there. All the guts are out. Then I'll go through here. I like to keep the hearts. I like to keep the gizzard. We'll clean those later and maybe put that in the video so you can see how we do it. Then you got the liver here, and this is the gallbladder. So you have to pinch that gallbladder off the liver. It is full of bile, green yucky stuff that'll get all over the meat. Once you get that done, just pull it off and you got your liver. And ta-da! Okay, then you stick your hand back in along his back. Right here is where his lungs are. You can kind of cup them and pull them out. There you go. Then on the other side, you kind of stick your fingers down. You can cup them and you pull them out. Then I usually grab the hose. I'll spray him out real good inside. Spray him off on the outside. Try to pull any feathers that may. This is just the preliminary cleaning. We'll clean them again before we bag them, and we'll show you how we bag them. Spray him out. Dump him out. Throw him in the cooler with the rest of them. All right, so I'll shut up this time and do one more for you real quick. So we cut the legs. Flip them over. Cut off the oil gland. Get any extraneous feathers that might be there. Flip him back over. Cut him where his craw is. Reach in, find his esophagus. Down on the other side of the neck, you'll find his, excuse me, I pulled his larynx. On the opposite side of the neck, you'll find the esophagus. I just run my thumb up. It's kind of easier once you do that because you got a hold of something that you can manipulate the craw with. The craw is a little tricky. It tends to stick to the skin. It's got a lot of connective tissue. So anyway, you just pull it until you get it loose. Stick your finger in there, bust that little triangle. Cut him in the back. Rip him open. Stick your hand in, pull out the guts. There comes the craw. Cut him down here. Cut off that part of the tail. Reach in. Pull his lungs out. It doesn't really die if you leave his lungs in because a lot of times you don't use the back anyway, but I just do it because it makes Miss Jackie happy. All right, and I'll take the hose. Yeah, we've done about 40 of them today, so these are the last two. I spared you all the gory details. Spray him off. Throw him in the cooler. Back over here, I keep the gizzards. I'm the only one that likes them. I keep the liver after. See, there's what happens when that bile breaks. And the heart is usually attached to the liver. If you pull it all out right, then you're done. Ta-da! So again, it's not hard. And these chickens are the best chickens I've ever ate. These are Cornish Cross Chickens. You have to buy them as chicks. They're not easily bred on the farm. They're not my layers, they're meat chickens. I got them May 11th. Today is July 10th, I think. So they're 1 day shy of 8 weeks old, and they're probably gonna average somewhere between 3.5 to 5 pounds. I mean, they'll vary somewhere between 3.5 and 5 pounds. And that's it. So give it a go. Okay, I told you I would show you how we package up these chickens, which is so easy. We use shrink bags. I know a lot of people out there do. Got my water boiling. Got my last 4 chickens out of 33, I think, that I'm going to put together here and show you how it's done. The process is really, really easy. Just get you shrink wrap bags. You can get these on Amazon. Put your chicken in head first into the bag. Okay, then when I get them there, I kind of like to bunch up the legs a little bit. Try to get it kind of as tight as I can. Then open up a hole up in the top, and you take this here straw that comes with it and you run it down in there and let it get in the body cavity, and if you do it right, when you got your legs wrapped up like that, it just goes right in. Then you take one of these zip straps that's provided, and you zip it up tight around the straw, and then watch this. This is cool. Dunk him in the hot water. Sometimes you hear a little air escaping out of there. You only got to leave him in for a couple of seconds, and ta-da! Look at that. Is that amazing or what? Okay, so then I come over here, pull out the straw, tighten up the zip strap, cut off the excess bag, snip the zip strap, and there you go. Perfect little chicken. I'm gonna set him over here for right now, and I'll show you one more. I just gotta show, this one I gotta brag about. This thing, look at the breast on that Cornish Cross chicken. I mean, it's big as my hand. That is huge. And that happens in 8 weeks. We bought those chickens, we got them in here as chicks on May 11th, and we processed them yesterday. The day you're seeing this video will be, I believe, July 11th. I think today is the 10th, I'm not sure, it's Sunday. So anyway, put him in the bag. Same thing again. Pull his legs together, cinch up the bag. You really don't have to be as tight as I get it. I just like it that way, I guess. Take the straw, put it down in the hole, grab you a zip strap the bag around the straw, and dunk him. This one ought to show out. This one really ought to show out. Look there. Let me clean that up real quick. Look at that. I mean, you don't find nothing that nice in the store. That's beautiful. All right, well, I'm gonna finish up these other two, and then I'm gonna cut up a chicken, and I'll show you how I cut one up, because we're gonna fry one up for supper tonight. So stick with me, we'll get to that. Give it a go. Okay, I brought you over here to the cutting table. We had one that got a little beat up in the plucker, so we're gonna fry him up for supper tonight. Now I was just gonna show you how I cut up a chicken. You can start, get you a fairly decent knife, and really just kind of follow the seams, pulling down. You can hear his leg pop out, then just follow that along. If you come up here on the top, there's a nice little oyster right here of meat, and then you just get under that bone and cut down. There's your thigh and leg. Okay, up here on the wing, same thing. You can come onto the wing on the back side here, cut down, find that bone. You don't even cut the bone, you just cut through it. There's your wing. Go over here to the other wing, cut through it. You'll find where his joint is, right there. Once you get through it, you just bring it on through, and you're done with the wing. We're not going to cook the neck, so I'm just going to take it over here, cut it off. That'll go to scrap. Come over here, get this other leg off. Again, just cut right down. Break that bone out where you can see it. Trail it down the back side, flip him over. Come over, be sure and get that hunk of meat that sits right here. Get around the bone and just trail him down. There's your other thigh. Now, you can take this right here for the breast, and you can literally just cut right through the back, through those right there. I'll take this one here, crunch it down through. That's usually the wishbone that you hear cutting through. Then if you want to take it farther, right down the middle, it's pretty much just cartilage, a little bit of bone. There's that wishbone again. So I just chop it, cut through the skin, and there you go. There's your breasts. Just like that. This is pretty much scrap. Use it for stock or go to the dogs. There's our chicken. Just like that. So, oh, you want to see if we cut this out? There's usually a seam right here. Let me see if I'm correct. I should be able to come down here. Cut that right in half. There's a drumstick. There's a thigh. Come over here, find that seam right there. Just cut right down it. Oop, got the skin. There's your drumstick. There's your thigh. Just like that, chicken parted out. So thank you for watching. And don't forget, this stuff isn't hard. You know, we had to feed them for 8 weeks. And that was it. Ordered them in the mail. They're Cornish Crosses. Feed them for 8 weeks. Get your buddies together. Give them a few chickens for helping you out. Do some butchering. And you're done. I highly recommend you give it a go. Thank you for watching.